Hello YouTube, just a quick update on Sunday 14th, is it, of July, on the greenhouse. I think it's a couple of weeks since I showed you around. The melon there, not doing a lot. I have just tried to rethread it, that's why it looks a bit limp. I took the tomato plant out next to it, which wasn't doing any good. That was a Sweet Million, and if you remember, I knocked the growing tip out of that when I planted it up, and a side shoot took over and it didn't do any good, to be fair. So I've taken that out. I might just show you the roots underneath that in a minute, in those quad grows. But that is Sakura. We've about halfway down the first truss of that. Lovely tasting tomato. The tanginess and sweetness balance is just about right on that. And as you can see, it's going right up to the roof. I think there's 8 trusses on there, so that's doing okay. And next to it we've got Sweet Million. Not a lot on that, to be fair, and it was a Sweet Million that I took out, so that hasn't done brilliantly. And next to that is Song Gold, and we've had quite a few off that one. A bit further down, cucumbers. Now if you look up there, that looks quite impressive. This is Mini Munch, but just below there all the flowers started to die off. We'd had about 15 cucumbers off this, and you can see they all started to die off, and I couldn't understand why. And then I found one hanging down the back of the pot, so the plant thought it had gone to seed and the rest of the flowers above had passed away. So I've took that one off, and then all of a sudden the next lot of flowers all take. So always pick your cucumbers just under ripe. Don't let them get too far away from you. And then behind that Mini Munch, there is Carmen. That's the 3rd cucumber off this one, and I shall probably pick that now. I won't let it go any bigger. As you can see, there's some following on. Cucumbers do well in these quad grows. And as for me peppers that were covered in green fly, I was just about to pull them out, and I noticed that there was a lot of hoverflies in here, and the hoverflies seem to have got rid of all the aphids that were on them. The bottoms don't look very pretty because they've got honeydew all over them, but the aphids seem to have 99% gone, and I am just starting to get some peppers come in on them, which is a bonus because I didn't think that I would be able to have any peppers this year. Not the prettiest at the moment, but it looks like the aphids have done the job. I suppose that the pests have to come first before the predators, otherwise there's nothing for the predators to eat. So that was a bit of a success story, really. Tomatoes on this side. These are all grown in halos and pots, and they're looking well. The first one I showed you here, Sakura, on this side, that's in a quad grow, and that's its counterpart on this side. Totally better plant. Definitely a better plant. I do find these halos and buckets work very well. That there is the second truss tomato. And you can see that's a fair size. and the one below, which has definitely had blossom end rot. I'm going to pick that today. It's gone a bit mouldy. I'm glad I left it because I can cut that off, and there's plenty of tomato there to use. So I'll cut that off shortly and weigh that. And the one next to it, that's probably a week away from being ripe. And also the second truss on that is quite impressive. Certainly won't get a third truss off those. That is Gigantimo and Big Mama. And then next to that I have Shirley. And that's quite an impressive first truss, that is. And next to that is another Gigantimo. Ugly because it's split, but it will certainly be nice on sandwiches. And there next to that is Alicante. And next to that one is Super Mama. They're quite big. See the size of the tomatoes there. Apart from that one there that's got a bit of mould on it, I don't have any blossom end rot. I'm feeding on every water. If you look at the instructions, it says feed at this time of year every 2 or 3 feeds. Well, I'm watering 2 or 3 times a week, so keep watering the bottom in the trays, and that seems to have stopped the blossom end rot this year. But as you can see, the ones in the halos on this side are definitely better quality than the ones in these quads. But the quads do seem to grow, for me, better peppers and better cucumbers. Now if I just lift this bucket out for you, you can see the wick there that goes straight through the soil and down into the bottom. And that is how it works below. The roots have gone in, the wick soaks up the water. As you can see, that is soaking wet, and they're never without water. And then if you take these out and dry, that's only capillary matting, but if you take these out and dry them, all those roots just break off and you can use it again next year. And that's where they are. And the soap and the capillary matting just goes into the reservoir of water, and there's always feed in there. And as you can see by the white bloom, I'm only using rainwater because that bloom wouldn't be there if I was using tap water, because that's mycorrhizal fungi, and mycorrhizal fungi is killed by tap water. Not just the powder that people put on the roots, but the natural mycorrhizal fungi in the soil. So if you water with tap water, you don't get the mycorrhizal fungi, which is there, as you can see, present. Thank you very much for watching. Please keep your thumbs up coming and your comments. And if you like what you see and you've not seen before, please subscribe and press that bell. Hope you all had a good weekend. Take good care. Thank you. Bye-bye. And there we are. That is 806 grams. And in old money, £1 12 1/4 ounces. By the time the wife's cut off that bit of mould, won't be quite that heavy, obviously. But that's a good sized tomato. Not the prettiest, I know how it feels, but I'm sure that'll be beautiful on a cheese sandwich with a twist of pepper. Take good care, everybody. Bye bye.